What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of
FORNEVER News!
The only news source that provides anything and everything anime and manga related, and we don't bore you. We get into it. Let's do it.
Still moving on. This is for my day ones.
Come on, please hit that subscribe button and that bell. I'd greatly appreciate it. In case you don't know, I got an album out right now called The Rise of Tim Roosevelt. You can listen to it on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, wherever you get your music from. Check it out, The Rise of Tim Roosevelt. Songs like Day Ones, Mistakes, Balance. You've heard them on the show. You've heard them in my videos. Give it a listen. Super appreciate it. Thanks for the support. And first, story on the docket for this episode. Now, I'll be honest with you. I'm not a fan of Mickey D's. McDonald's, not your boy. I don't eat there. However, this little instance, if it came over here to North America, might have me change my mind, because apparently McDonald's is launching an epic Dragon Ball collaboration, but it's not over here in North America, or pretty much majority of places you would expect. McDonald's may have never made an anime series of their own to focus on the fast food establishment, but 2023 has seen the restaurant participating in the anime medium in various ways. In recent marketing campaigns, McDonald's featured an advertisement that harkened back to The Devil is a Part-Timer anime series, and even created an anime segment of its own in Japan. Now the franchise in Taiwan is teaming up with the Z Fighters as part of a campaign to help push the latest Dragon Ball trading cards. Not only will the new campaign feature cards displaying the likes of Son Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Goten, Trunks, Gohan, and many others, but Taiwan's McDonald's restaurants will also feature exclusive packaging and meals dedicated to Akira Toriyama's brainchild. Unfortunately, the fast food franchise hasn't confirmed if the marketing campaign will be making its way to North America. The campaign itself has already begun in Taiwan and will last until October 10th, offering anime fans to collect the Dragon Ball Z character blind card packs, which house 4 unique trading cards based on the Shonen franchise. And based off of this image, I'm not gonna lie, the packaging on it looks immaculate. The McDonald's, I don't even know, is that like a chicken nugget box or something with Goku on it? They got Frieza, they got the bag with Shenron, they got the drink cup of Goku's gi. Like, it does look pretty freaking awesome. I ain't gonna cap, I'm not a McDonald's eater by any stretch of the imagination, but packaging looks pretty cool. They did their thing, and it makes me think like, yo dog, we don't ever get anything like that over here. At most, we get Pokemon once in a while, which I think I've heard murmurings Pokemon might be making a comeback with another run with some cards or whatnot. But I'm just saying, Dragon Ball McDonald's, come on, dog. I think we had like a Burger King campaign like 20 years ago or something. A new one is definitely in order. But here's how McDonald's describes the new partnership with the Dragon Ball franchise, specifically partnering up to help in promoting the Shonen series' latest trading card collectibles. Dragon Ball fans must collect these 18 popular character cards, quickly make a wish to the dragon, and collect them all presented with the classic characters of Dragon Ball Z. Popular characters such as Goku, etc. are all majestic and handsome. The 3 series of SSR, SR, and R cards, oh god, are those like the Dokkan ratings or something, also use different materials to increase their eye-catching appearance, including hot stamping, mirror effect, and pearl scent texture. So yeah, if you're in Taiwan by any chance, you may have the opportunity to get the Dragon Ball McDonald's. Yo, imagine somebody that would go to Taiwan just for this. I wouldn't be surprised. I've seen crazier. Yeah. Moving forward, apparently Netflix's One Piece showrunner is down to tackle Spy Family. In case you don't know, Netflix One Piece has been a massive success, humongous. People are loving it, so much so that one of the showrunners is like, yo dog, I wouldn't mind getting the Spy Family, which Spy Family gotta be one of the most easiest. Like, if you butcher Spy Family with a live action, what is wrong with you, dog? Like, if they put the same amount of time and care into a Spy Family live action adaptation as they did like One Piece, there's no way you don't nail this. It's simple. It's literally a little girl and a couple. You know what I'm saying? Like, how could you botch that? But there's no denying the success of Netflix's One Piece. While some fans were hesitant of the live action project, the team behind One Piece spared no expense with the Straw Hats. Upon its release, Netflix One Piece topped the streaming services across the globe for weeks, and we have the show's top-notch team to thank. And as for its showrunner, Steve Maeda, well, there is another anime he would like to tackle someday. Speaking with Comic Book, the showrunner behind Netflix's One Piece said he is has been chasing after one anime for a bit. Spy Family has sunken its claws into the producer, and Maeda isn't ready to let it go. I love Spy Family so much, it's just wonderful, Maeda said when asked about the anime and his grip on the industry. It's funny you mentioned that one. I've been chasing Spy Family for a while. Of course, there's no firm plans in place for Spy Family to undertake a live action adaptation, but never say never. They're gonna do it. There's no way they won't. It's too popular, and it's such an easy slam dunk at some given point to give it a shot. The anime industry is only growing these days as the medium becomes more popular by the day, with manga sales skyrocketing stateside. Series like One Piece and Spy Family are part of everyday pop culture. The former series has only become more accessible thanks to Netflix's One Piece, and Maeda is most definitely interested in showcasing Spy Family the same way. I think there are many wonderful stories, Maeda told Comic Book when discussing the challenges of adapting anime into live action. It just has been, I think, difficult getting the crossover. Anime really is such a wonderful source material. There are many great manga and anime titles out there that tell these wonderful stories, and they just haven't been tapped yet, and so not every underlining piece of material needs a live action, but boy, it would be amazing to see some of them. Given Maeda's track record, and anime fans are intrigued to hear how Spy Family would fare in real life. But let's relax. Track record, homie. Homie got One Piece off the ground. That's big. I don't know about other stuff. But for the moment, the hit anime has more on its plate. This month will mark the premiere of the show's new season, and that isn't the only thing coming for the Forger clan. Come December, Spy Family's first film is set to debut in Japan, so if you have not taken the chance to binge Spy Family, you can find the anime streaming on Crunchyroll and Hulu. I think I speak for most of us when I say at some given point a Spy Family live action, if it's done correctly, would be pretty freaking awesome. I love the anime. It's very wholesome. It's a cool series, and I think there's, again, just no way you drop the ball on this one. But aside from One Piece and a select few like the Rurouni Kenshin live actions, we've seen history still tell a different tale that will remain to be seen until the day it happens. Moving forward, apparently Adult Swim's Cartoon Network Classics block is a ratings hit. Who would have thunk the things that people want to see being put on television would actually get watched? Hey, mind-blowing, yeah. But apparently Adult Swim's new Checkered Past block has been a major ratings hit ever since it started airing classic Cartoon Network series on TV again after so many years. Adult Swim kicked off a special new TV block earlier this spring as part of a new expansion of the network with Cartoon Network's programming overall. This started with Adult Swim expanding for an additional hour, then led to the surprise announcement that there will be an additional expansion of 2 more hours where Adult Swim will be airing classic Cartoon Network animated series that haven't been fully on TV since the 2000s. This nostalgia-fueled block is known as Checkered Past, and a press release from Warner Bros. Discovery revealed that it's been a huge hit with its intended audience in the ratings, as it delivered a 102% ratings increase among adults 25 to 54, and also noted a comparison of the following with a 106% ratings increase among adults 18 to 49 over the prior 6 weeks of Cartoon Network programming. So it seems like adding these Cartoon Network favorites has been the right move so far. In case you don't know what Checkered Past is the new block that airs from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. with Adult Swim that features Cartoon Network classic shows such as Dexter's Laboratory, The Grim Adventures of Billy Mandy, Courage the Cowardly Dog, and Ed, Edd and Eddy. A bunch of shows like Dexter, Courage, Ed and Eddy. I grew up with all of that, so it's dope to see that on there. The programming per day changes depending on what kind of programming Adult Swim has planned. Some days are used for marathons of certain shows, for example, and it seems like fans have been flocking to this special afternoon block as a way to get primed up for the rest of Adult Swim programming throughout the evening. Michael Owelian, president of Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, Boomerang, and Discovery Kids, said the following for the Checkered Past nostalgia block during its initial announcement. Animation can both speak to multiple age groups in the moment and also find new audiences across decades. The early Cartoon Network originals like Dexter's Lab or Courage the Cowardly Dog are examples of shows that do both. And yeah, that's dope to see. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, we're in the nostalgia era for a while now. We've been here. It's nostalgic for a lot of people. If I'm cruising through TV with cable, if I had it, I'd be like, oh, wait a minute. They doing what now? I'm going to watch this. I want some Courage the Cowardly. Hell yeah. So they're taking it back to their roots, and I ain't mad at it. How can you be mad at it? So pretty dope stuff there. Moving forward now, a lot of people have been sending me this, and I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about it or not. But I seen a little trailer that was made by, I guess it's a fan-created thing, of a Berserk anime of basically straight up 2D and essentially what fans have always asked for, so to speak. Berserk is finally getting the anime it deserves from fans. Berserk has been making quite a few headlines recently as writer Koji Mori and the artist at Studio Gaga have started a new arc in the pages of the manga, exploring Guts and company as they struggle with the loss of Elfheim and a new problem that has met them on the high seas. The Eastern Exile arc is aiming to explore the world at large. While the Berserk franchise has yet to announce if any new anime projects are on the way, one fan studio is taking matters into its own hands. The last time Berserk received an anime adaptation, it was in the form of Berserk Memorial Edition. The anime adaptation took material from the trilogy of films that retold the Golden Age arc, while adding in some new scenes that have never made their way to the silver screen originally. While the series received a number of animated projects, there's still quite a bit of story material from the Bleak manga series that has yet to be adapted that could give fans multiple seasons in the future. Studio Eclipse might be working on the quote-unquote The Black Swordsman, but this isn't their first rodeo in the anime medium, as they had previously created an alternate ending for the Scout Regiment in Attack on Titan no Requiem. Here's how Eclipse broke down the description of the fan-made project that is on its way. Collaborating with amazing artists like Mark Reimer, we aim to create a proper 2D adaptation of the stories that have been neglected of this medium, starting from the beginning. The studio has yet to reveal when fans can expect the series to make landfall, but is clearly putting efforts into retelling the story of Berserk via the Black Swordsman arc. And I'll be honest with you, it looks good, but just keeping it all the way real, I guess you would say when it comes to stuff like this with fan-made projects and whatnot, I have very little faith because, for one, at any given time, the people that actually own the rights to Berserk can dead all of this. They can literally hit you with copyright strikes and cease and desist, and that's the end of it. So that's already one. Like, technically, you're not supposed to be doing this. It's somebody else's property. In fact, I would argue, why not just put all these resources into, like, an original piece of material that would probably help you a lot more than this if you're trying to, you know, become an established creative in that field or whatnot. But, you know, that's already strike one. Strike two, I've seen historically in the past when fans take up, like, I remember there was a plan to do the Bleach Dalsian Blood War anime. Those fans that was like putting together, they were putting a lot of time. Like, making anime takes a lot of time, especially when it's a small team, especially when there's no money involved, or real financial, you know, gain involved. Like, this is the full-time job for a lot of people. So I don't have faith that they're going to be able to put together, like, you know, a full-on adaptation of Berserk. Like, it'll be cool to see in little spurts, like, hey, this piece of animation, but historically I've seen where fans, again, say, like, yo, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and most of the time they crash and burn after a few episodes, and it's the end of it, and fans have been waiting for, like, a year, 2 years for that little piece of animation. So I'm gonna just hold out and say, like, eventually the Japanese will get to making the proper Berserk that we've all been wanting and deserving. But this right here, it looks cool, but I'm not going to hold my breath on this becoming a big deal, or, you know, the Japanese not saying, hey, you're using our properties, take this down right now, or we're going to sue you to kingdom come, you know? Moving forward, Target launches massive manga sale for Circle Week. Hey, some sales, not bad. Let's get into it. Let's see what these sales are looking like. It's a good week to save on some manga top titles. After all, Target has launched a top-notch sale on tons of its top sellers. As the chain Circle Week gets underway, manga has been put on sale, so readers will want to stock up while the deal lasts. And what is the deal? Well, Circle Week has put all books and movies on sale. You can get 20% off on anything in those two categories, which includes manga. This discount applies to any books and movies in your cart at purchase, so you can see why manga fans are geeking out. From Spy Family to Demon Slayer and Komi Can't Communicate, Target has plenty of manga in stock to purchase online. Its best-selling titles include Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, and My Hero Academia to start. Of course, One Piece is also on the list, and select Target Circle members may find an additional coupon for the hit manga in the app. Some fans have reported they were given access to an extra 15% discount on One Piece manga, so collectors better double-check their Circle rewards. And of course, there's more on sale at Target than just manga. Circle Week is in play through October 7th. There are thousands of items on sale, from appliances to home goods and even clothing. You can check out all the deals in app, as you can sign up for Target Circle for free. So if you're eager to save some cash this week, Target is the place to be. And yeah, I would love to get a deal on some manga. It's been a little bit since I bought some, and I wouldn't mind buying some, and that might be the deal to go. Get 20, possibly even 35% off on a manga volume. I'm here for it, and I hope that helps anybody that maybe you want to get a, start getting early Christmas gifts or something. Boom, Target, get some manga for somebody you love. Let's go. Moving forward, Studio Ghibli exec breaks silence on Nippon TV acquisition. In case you don't know, recently it was announced that Studio Ghibli was bought out by Nippon TV. Studio Ghibli hardly needs an introduction at this point. Since its creation in 1985, Studio Ghibli has made a name for itself as an animation innovator. With a strong film library under its thumb, Studio Ghibli has inspired millions, and this is why many were surprised to hear that Nippon TV had acquired the company. I'll be honest, I thought like Disney would have bought it before Nippon TV. Now the general manager of Studio Ghibli is opening up about the move, and Toshio Suzuki is nothing but excited about it. The update comes from the legendary Studio Ghibli producer and co-founder as Suzuki spoke with France's Liberation. It was there the executive spoke about The Boy and the Heron, Studio Ghibli's new film. As the conversation continued, Suzuki addressed the company's acquisition under Nippon TV, and the producer was glad to finally talk about the big announcement. We couldn't talk to anyone about this share sale until the agreement was signed and made official on September 21st. It was painful. Only 3 people in the studio knew about it. If the information ever got out, it was all over. But Miyazaki's freedom to continue is one of the conditions of the deal, and this freedom applies not only to Hayao Miyazaki's films, but to everything Studio Ghibli does. Nippon TV has accepted everything, Suzuki explained. Miyazaki and I are in good health, and Nippon TV won't come and tell us anything. The problem becomes more acute when we're no longer around. What will happen then? I don't know. It's up to those who will be there at the time to think about it. As you can see, Suzuki and fellow co-founder Hayao Miyazaki are not going anywhere. Studio Ghibli is still running under their direction, but the pair now have the backing of Nippon TV. The company's creative freedom was a major stipulation of the acquisition contract, and Suzuki says it protects the future of Studio Ghibli. After all, the company's living founders are all older, so Studio Ghibli can feel secure under Nippon TV's care. And yeah, that's a little bit scary to hear, because honestly, once these gentlemen do pass, because they are in their, elderly age or whatnot, I think Miyazaki's like in the 70s or 80s, like, they're up there in age or whatnot. What will happen to Studio Ghibli? Will Nippon TV, once they pass, be like, I bet, y'all did y'all think we're gonna take the catalog and say, piss off? Like, what's gonna happen? Do they own access to the catalog as well, or is it just to the studio? Like, a lot of questions definitely remain to be answered, but that kind of just blew my mind. Like, Studio Ghibli being bought out by Nippon TV, out of all people. Again, I figured like Disney would be the ones to come and grab them, so a little bit of a shocker, I guess. Moving forward, apparently Netflix's One Piece really impressed Eiichiro Oda with Mr. 7, a character from the One Piece manga. If there was one thing we know about One Piece, it's that messing with Roronoa Zoro is a bad idea. The swordsman is fiercely loyal to his crew, and of course the strange Zoro wields is hard to describe. He is unmatched by all save for Mihawk, and his truth was made clear even as recently as in Netflix's One Piece live action. The adaptation even went so far as showing Zoro's skills against the mysterious Mr. 7, and it turns out the deep cut reference impressed the creator of One Piece, even though I just kind of found it a little odd, but alrighty. Recently, the show's executive producer Steven Maeda said his interest in the manga's first Mr. 7 took Eiichiro Oda off guard. I pitched a lot of ideas to Oda in our first meeting. One was about how to introduce Zoro in an action-based scene to show off what he can do before we meet him in Shellstown. In an old SBS, Oda mentioned that Zoro was previously recruited by Mr. 7 of Baroque's works and killed him in combat. This was exactly what I was working for, something within canon while never actually shown in the manga itself. Oda turned to one of the editors and said, "Did I say that?" The next day I was presented with this drawing. This is the only time Mr. 7 has ever been fully drawn by Oda. He said he was impressed by my knowledge of this world and he liked the idea. Holding on to this felt like I was carrying the Holy Grail, the first of many great conversations and interactions with the man himself, someone I'm honored to call a collaborator and a friend. As you can see above, the artwork of Mr. 7 shows what Mr. 7 looked like in the canon before Zoro took him out. The design was perfectly brought to life in the Netflix adaptation. Okay, so I didn't know that was actually canon and was never shown. That Oda basically said it, but it never was introduced. That's interesting. Zoro's introduction was most definitely a treat to longtime fans who are interested in all the Straw Hats past. So as Netflix's One Piece moves into season 2, we can only hope the show keeps up its top-notch investigation into all things manga, even if Oda remembers the details or not. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that's actually a really dope move to find, like, yo, Oda said this in the SBS, like, even Oda had to say, wait a minute, I said that? What? So shout outs to Steven Maeda for finding that knowledge. Moving forward, big news. I talked about it over on my other channel, so if you want a more extensive breakdown on my thoughts of this, definitely head on over to the ForneverWorld channel and subscribe over there. I'll put a link somewhere here so you can go, probably be in the description and the pinned top comment. Go subscribe over to my other channel. But apparently, Attack on Titan creator pens letter to fans announcing new book. Attack on Titan has proven time and time again it is a force to reckon with. Since its first chapter, the epic manga has tested readers' trust and emotion. In turn, creator Hajime Isayama crafted a masterful world with their stark aesthetic that millions have come to love. Now it seems the artist is returning to Attack on Titan for a spell, and Isayama penned a letter to fans announcing the special comeback. The update comes from Isayama's team as the group shared his letter with the world. As you can read below, the note confirms a brand new art book of Attack on Titan is coming, and it will put Eren's world into color. My name is Hajime Isayama. It has been about 2.5 years since I finished the serial. Okay, why am I doing that voice? I'm sorry. It's been 2.5 years since I finished the serialization of Attack on Titan. I have decided to release a color art book. I am very honored. I'm happy to have the compilation of my past work in a book. I would like to say proudly, I am very happy to have compiled all my work into a book, but in fact, I have only done line drawings for the color illustrations. I asked a certain person to do the coloring work for me. I am proud to say that I am known for not excelling at drawing, so there's no way I could do a great coloring job. I believe that this work would have not been possible without the presence of the specialist who has been in charge of coloring Attack on Titan since the beginning. I would be happy if this color art book focuses on those who have continued to support the series behind the scenes. As you can see, Isayama worked with Attack on Titan's original colorist to bring this art book to life. The vibrant piece promises to give a full view of Eren's world to fans, and it could not come at a better time. After all, the Attack on Titan anime is almost done with its adaptation. Mappa Studios will wrap the hit series this winter, more than a decade after Attack on Titan's hit TV series. So once the show is over, Isayama will reimagine his manga finale in rich color. Plus, it seems the new art book will complete with a major surprise. Isayama confirmed he will include a new one-shot of Attack on Titan. The edition will mark Isayama's first release since he ended Attack on Titan a couple years back. At this time, we have no context for what this one-shot will contain, but Attack on Titan readers are eager to see what Isayama has in store for his fans. So again, new chapter incoming for Attack on Titan, a one-shot, as well as coloring book or the manga colored. I'm interested to see what it is. To be honest with you, I'm more so interested in that one shot opposed to the coloring. It's like, okay, it's cool. I've watched the anime and I've read the manga, so I think I'm good on the colored art for the manga. More so just let me get that, let me get that extra chapter, homie. Yeah. Moving forward, while the year is not quite wrapped up just yet in terms of for the top best-selling manga of the year, normally we get the finalized list from Oricon in November. We got some tallies right here of what the top selling manga of the year is looking like. And again, there's about a month and some change left for this to change, but manga's top selling titles of 2023 fall update. 2023 has been a giant year for all things anime, with so many events taking place in the medium that it's almost hard to keep track. With each passing year, manga sales overall have seen a fairly big increase, originally seeing a massive tick up as a result of the COVID quarantines, with the uptick remaining to this day. That's a lie. A lot of manga sales have dropped drastically. I cover this every week, so that's not correct. That's inaccurate. Now a new list shows which manga have sold the most in 2023 so far, and some of the series might throw anime fans for a loop. When it comes to manga sales, various series will routinely see an increase in sales when their anime adaptation arrives, though not every printed story is set to hit the small screen. Various franchises such as Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece, and My Hero Academia saw some major sales increases thanks to recent seasons from the likes of Mappa, Toei Animation, and Studio Bones for these respective stories. With manga and anime continuing to gain popularity in North America and around the world, we fully expect sales to keep increasing as years go by. With the list below, you might be surprised as to what was able to top the charts. And again, this isn't complete yet. Next month we'll get the full-on ones, but see, it says at number 10 is Kingdom with 2,705,000. Kingdom needs to be celebrated. Like, this is all straight up off of just being a quality written story of that people really love. Like, shout outs to Kingdom. Number 9, My Hero Academia with 2.89 million. Still standing strong, especially considering we had like a year of some some of the more weaker chapters of the series, so it's dope to see that it's still in the top 10. At number 8, I'm shocked. I thought it would not be here, but I guess sales was still coming in strong from when the series ended. Tokyo Revengers barely beating out My Hero with 3,090,000. Now I'm 100% sure next year Tokyo Revengers definitely will not be in here. There's no way. Number 7, Spy Family with 3.1 million copies sold. Huge up for Spy Family, and the anime's next season's coming and the movie, so expect it on next year's list as well. At number 6, shocking as hell, and this is, I'm gotta imagine, mainly due to that movie that has done crazy, because Slam Dunk is at number 6 with 4,861,000, and I gotta say again, that has to be because of that movie, because that's the only other explanation. There's nothing else to say why Slam Dunk is doing so well. Like, huge ups to Slam Dunk. That's crazy. Mad years after the fact, it's still doing crazy numbers. At number 5, this series blew up this year. Everybody's been talking about it. 100% attributed to the anime Oshi no Ko with 5,006,795 sales. Oshi no Ko doing big things, dog. It's huge. Like, I'm still shocked at the amount of sales that this manga did out of nowhere. It's like, you didn't expect that. And number 4, a series I definitely expected to be somewhere here, is Chainsaw Man with 5.225 million copies, despite the fact that the anime unfortunately didn't take the world by storm like a lot of people thought it would, including myself. Ultimately, the manga's popularity is still at an all-time high, coming in at number 4. Big ups to Chainsaw Man. At number 3, I hate to say it because it's not The Mighty Have Fallen, but I remember a time where there was no guessing anymore of like what would be number 1. It was always this one. It was always One Piece. One Piece was always number 1. And over the last year or two, One Piece's streak finally ended of being number 1 all the time. At number 3, still very impressive with 5,675,000, beating out the likes of, again, Chainsaw Man, Oshi no Ko. So even, a million years into this, what is it, One Piece debut in like 97, the manga? Like, all these years later, and it's still selling extremely well with that amount, but it's definitely not the Goliath that it was even, 3 or 4 years ago. But shout outs to One Piece. At number 2, Jujutsu Kaisen with 6,435,000. Huge ups for Jujutsu Kaisen. I believe it was number 1 the last couple years. I think 2021 and 2022 it was number 1. So still number 2. Big stuff for it. And then coming in at number 1, if this remains, this will be crazy. In fact, I don't think anything will change even with the extra month or whatnot. I want to say this might be, if not the first time, and I might be totally off, but this is the first time that I can remember in many years of Kodansha having the number 1 most selling manga of the year. I mean, we've seen series come real close. When Attack on Titan went up against One Piece, it barely lost. Seven Deadly Sins went up against One Piece, it barely lost. All of these at their peak, they tried it and they couldn't. This is one of the first times, and then at that, it's a sports series. Blue Lock at number 1 with 10,118,000 copies. Again, I don't see anything, even if Jujutsu Kaisen put out another volume tomorrow and it did like 1 million off rip, that still will put it far behind Blue Lock, because Blue Lock just put out another volume anyways. Blue Lock is more than likely undisputed number 1, and this is crazy that, again, this is, I gotta say, the first time I've ever reported that Kodansha has the number 1 selling manga of the year, period, bar none. It did basically nearly double One Piece, which is astronomically insane. Even if One Piece put out another volume, it still would fall far behind Blue Lock. It really did it. Wow, like, the king of manga here, I guess, huh? Blue Lock. Craziness. Big shout outs to Blue Lock. I can't believe it. Moving forward, apparently Netflix is about to be tackling a new anime from the Doraemon creator. Now, you probably never heard of Doraemon, but Doraemon is one of the most popular anime in Japan. It's been for a very long time. It's more like a kid's anime, but it says here, Doraemon has long been a major figure in Japan's pop culture scene, first arriving all the way back in 1969. Since hitting the scenes, the feline from the future has garnered quite a few anime series, video games, movies, and spin-offs. Now, one of the groups that was first introduced as a part of Doraemon's story will receive their own anime adaptation on Netflix next year, with a very familiar animation studio responsible for bringing Bone and Company to life. This isn't the first time that the Time Patrol has received an anime adaptation, as back in 1989, the time travelers high schoolers arrived with its own animated special thanks to Studio Gallop. For next year's anime series, Studio Bones will be in charge of Pppppp. Anime fans might know Bones best for its work on My Hero Academia, Mob Psycho 100, and Full Metal Alchemist, to name a few. Damn, they really made some classics, bro. The arrival of this upcoming series once again shows how Netflix continues to go all in on the world of anime, whether it be via creating new anime originals and or creating live action adaptations of major anime franchises. The upcoming series will be created to honor Doraemon's creator's birthday, as Fujiko Fujio would have turned 90 years old in 2024. With both Doraemon and Time Patrol Bone, it's clear that Fujio's influence on the anime world has been a significant one, as his creations will continue long past his passing. Time Patrol Bone did have quite a few storylines in its manga, which ran from 78 to 86. If the anime adaptation is looking to continue following its first season, there's plenty of material to pull from. As Doraemon continues to have a big role in the anime world, we might see more anime projects exploring the unique Cat's World arrival in the future. Yeah, just figured it'd be dope to report on this because, again, Doraemon, even though it never really hit the West all that hard, it is huge in Japan. So Netflix doing a new anime on it, chances are it'll probably make its way to the West as well, and you'll be able to check it out. And now you know what the hell it is. What is it? TP Bone? There you go. Moving forward, more Berserk news. Apparently, Berserk writer hints at series finale timeline. Following the tragic passing of creator Kentaro Miura, many believe that Berserk will remain unfinished. Luckily, good friends of Miura and writer Koji Mori and the artist at Studio Gaga decided that in order to honor the deceased mangaka, they would aim to end the story of Guts and the Band of the Hawk. While the new creative team hasn't confirmed how many additional chapters Berserk has left before it will come to an end, Mori hinted in a recent interview that manga readers might be waiting for quite some time for the grand finale. Following Miura's passing, Mori and Gaga have been throwing some interesting curveballs at Guts and his allies. When Griffith arrived at, okay, we're not going to get into spoilers. We're jumping over. Okay, boom. In a recent interview, Koji Mori stated that Berserk won't take more than 10 years to finish. While the writer didn't commit to the number of chapters that the brutal manga series has left, the creative team clearly has a roadmap thanks to discussions and notes that they received from Kentaro Miura before his passing. Before Guts' story ends, he will have some tough roads ahead of him. Unfortunately, Berserk has yet to reveal a new adaptation. So yeah, he said it won't take more than 10 years to finish, but that doesn't mean like, okay, so it could take 10 years. It won't take more than that, but it could take up to 10 years. So expect Berserk for the time to come. And I think as the years pass by, if it keeps on at a level of quality, I think people are going to start really, because I don't see much backlash anyways of like, it's not Miura doing it. And on top of that, I think fans are kind of just going to come around to the idea of like, yo, it's still Berserk. These are the people Miura trusted. The art isn't far off. And if the story is still as good as when Miura was doing it, because he left behind a lot of notes and whatnot, and they were around him for a long time, then I think fans are going to come around to it for the most part moving forward. But damn, it won't take more than 10 years, but that means it could take about 10 years. It's crazy. What the hell? Next up, My Adventures with Superman producer explains the show's lack of iconic villains. My Adventures with Superman will return with a second season, though DC Comics fans might have noticed some big players were missing from season 1. The likes of Lex Luthor, Brainiac, and General Zod might have made appearances in some sneaky ways in the opening salvo of the animated series, but it turns out Warner Brothers has encouraged the creators of the show to go a different route. In a recent interview, a producer of the series discussed the decision to see smaller villains in the Superman mythos get the spotlight. Producer Josie Campbell revealed that in notes from Warner Brothers, the creators behind My Adventures with Superman were told not to use some of the more iconic villains. Sounds more like yo, dog, we might have some movies planned with them. You can't really use them. It's more like an embargo on the Rogues Gallery that is known. They were told not to use some of the more iconic villains that have been seen a million times before. Some of it was Warner Brothers, and I think it was a good note. Like, our big execs on Warner Brothers were like, well, these are the big hitters that everybody's seen and everybody's expecting, and we've seen this a million times, so we want your twists on things. And I think it was Sam Register, good old Sam Register, and Audrey Dale, who were doing notes with us, were like, these characters take up the whole screen. They kind of suck the air out because they're so famous, and there's so many expectations. So hold off on them. Hold off on these characters and build a story how you see fit. Campbell then expanded on the decision and how that helped from the iteration of Clark Kent, who was still learning about himself and his powers. And so that's the sort of what we did, was we were like, okay, we're not going to have Lex Luthor, we're not going to have the Brainiac stuff coming in, we're going to start small, we're going to start with Clark is still learning his powers and figuring out who he is. So we're going to start small and start with some of these lesser known villains. We're going to start with some of the weirder villains. We're going to build up. While not mentioned by name, viewers were able to see a character named Alex who had a hatred of Superman, who might just turn out to be Lex Luthor. In the post-credit scene of season 1, we also witnessed 2 mysterious characters, one of which sports Brainiac's symbol and the other teasing that Earth will kneel before them, hinting that the pair might be Brainiac and Zod. While a second season has been confirmed, a release date has yet to be confirmed for Superman and his Metropolis colleagues, and I've heard a lot of people like this one. I still have yet to give it a chance. I plan to, but that's interesting when they do stuff like that. Like, a part of me is like, okay, that's kind of cool. Like, yeah, give us some villains nobody's heard of, because we have seen Lex Luthor and Brainiac a trillion times. But then on the other side, it kind of feels like, I think they did this with, I want to say, was it The Batman? I feel like it was either The Batman or an earlier Batman animated series from, like, I don't know, maybe like a decade ago. Not Batman the animated series, but one of the Batman series. I remember there was like an embargo on like certain villains that couldn't be used, or it might have been The Batman, and we like couldn't have Joker for a few seasons because it was like, no, there's a movie coming, we gotta ixnay on a lot of the big villains. And that always kind of makes me feel like there might be a story that would be great with having X character there. So I don't know, but hey, maybe it's doing well. Who knows? It got a second season, right? Moving forward, we have an update on the Kyoto animation arson trial. New trial update provides new info from studio president. The wait for justice is almost over. Some years ago, Kyoto Animation made global headlines after the studio was targeted by an arsonist. The deadly attack left dozens dead and even more injured, to the shock of millions. At long last, the arson suspect is now on trial after admitting their guilt, and the trial has revealed new information about the attack, including an emotional statement from Kyoto Animation's president. Most recently, it was the studio president who spoke at the trial. During his appearance, Hideki Hata addressed the suspect's allegation that Kyoto Animation plagiarized a story of theirs. Hata did not mince words about the issue and stated Kyoto Animation wasn't involved in such theft. Our company is not a company that steals people's ideas, Hata said. The studio president went on to address the trial by remembering the Kyoto Animation arson as nothing but heartbreaking. This incident occurred due to the defendant's delusions, and it is heartbreaking. The families of the victims are going through difficult days. I believe that a proper judgment will be made. As for the revelations from the trial, suspect Shinji Aoba shared details about his deluded beliefs about Kyoto Animation. According to testimony notes, the accused said he believed an unnamed female producer at Kyoto Animation stole the idea of an anime pitch he submitted to the studio. Fueled with anger over the rejection and perceived theft, Aoba began planning his attack. When asked about the incident in retrospect, the suspect says the arson went too far. Considering more than 30 people died, I do have a small feeling that I shouldn't have gone that far for one novel. That is my honest feeling right now. As the suspect's first appearance in court, Aoba pled guilty to the arson. The attack ended up killing 36 people and injuring 33 others after starting on July 18, 2019. Aoba was injured himself and treated for an extended period at a local hospital. Following trial delays due to COVID, the official arson trial began earlier this year. An official verdict is slated to be handed out on January 25th, 2024. And regardless of what, who knows? Maybe his idea was stolen. Maybe. It's a possibility. I'm not going to side with Kyoto Animation's president on, no, it wasn't. Maybe. Still doesn't mean you go in and torch down and commit arson on a building of innocent people. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe your idea was stolen. Maybe you should have gotten a lawyer and hit him up that way or something like that. Not go and commit a freaking heinous act and hurt innocent people, you dumbass. Just had to throw that in there. But yeah, hopefully this trial comes to a close soon. I know the victims' families is probably ready for this nightmare to be put behind them after losing a lot of people that they love. So yeah. Moving forward, apparently Netflix's One Piece is already facing the quote-unquote Harry Potter problem. It's been over a month since Netflix One Piece went live, and the show is an unmistakable hit. Thanks to its all-star crew, the show managed to bring Eiichiro Oda's rich story to life in a way that wowed fans both new and old. For season 2, there's just so much material to be made based on the show. It's gonna be like Harry Potter though. They're gonna have to do it fast before everybody gets too old, the cinematographer shared with the Direct. Of course, there's no denying the truth to Whitaker's statement. Shows like Stranger Things and even Game of Thrones have run into this issue. When you have a show focused on young characters, there is a time limit on production. That's facts. Like, unless maybe Oda is planning on it. Maybe he wants, the actors to get older because it will reflect One Piece in the ending. You want to finish the project before the stars are obviously too old for the role. For franchises like Harry Potter, the clock was always running against the main cast, as it mains were meant to be 17 in canon when it ended. Warner Brothers kept the films on pace as star Daniel Radcliffe was 22 when the movie series ended, but Netflix One Piece is far more complex than Harry Potter in this regard, because there's like 100 million episodes to go. Not only is Oda's hit series much longer than Harry Potter, but his actors are older. For instance, Luffy is about 17 years old in the manga when One Piece starts, and he's 19 after the main time skip. Inaki Godoy, the talented actor who plays Luffy, is already 20. While he may look young, you can imagine the clock is on for One Piece to film. So hopefully the team behind Netflix has a plan in place, which, yeah, they're going to have to figure some stuff out, because after a certain point, you can only have him look 17 and 19 for so long, likewise with the other cast of characters, till eventually it's like, yo, dog. But I'm imagining they're going to have to work it into the canon of like, yo, dog, time has passed. So something is going to have to give there, because again, they've already made some changes anyways to the story, so it's not far-fetched to say, yo, you're getting older, dog. It happens. Moving forward, apparently Hunter x Hunter director has aired his biggest anime pet peeves. The Hunter x Hunter manga continues to make headlines whenever creator Yoshihiro Togashi returns to create new chapters of the Hunter-filled universe. Following the long-awaited return of Hunter x Hunter manga series after quite a long hiatus, a number of chapters were released to continue the Succession Contest arc. By sharing update for the Shonen series, creator Yoshihiro Togashi was able to become the most followed manga artist in social media history, as he would routinely share behind-the-scenes photos on the creation of Gon and the company's continuing story. Not really, homie would show like the side of a page of a storyboard. Let's not get carried away here. While Togashi's been working on new chapters of the beloved franchise, his health issues have meant that the former weekly schedule has needed to be put to the side, as installments are released far less frequently. As present, Yoshihiro has not stated that Gon's tale will end anytime soon, and it is yet to be seen how long Hunter x Hunter will continue into the future. Hiroshi Kojina's big anime issue. Hiroshi Kojina might be best known for his work as the director on Hunter x Hunter, but this is far from the only anime project that is on his resume. Most recently, Kojina has worked on the Sandland film, and The Vampire Dies in No Time. Hiroshi recently attended the Nippon Anime and Film Culture Association event, pointing out the vast shortage of animators who are working to bring anime to life. Kojina also noted the lack of available training necessary to forge the next generation, along with offering developmental opportunities to boot. While a new Hunter x Hunter anime project hasn't been announced, there are quite a few manga chapters that have yet to be adapted to the small screen. If the series does return someday, it would be interesting to see if Madhouse will return with it, or if a new studio would take a crack at Yoshihiro's most popular series. And yeah, I think definitely at some given point there's going to be a massive problem with animators, considering the fact that a lot of people are starting to get aware that being an animator sounds like a living nightmare. Doesn't sound as fun as you would initially think, and the shortage of people being trained and whatnot. At some given point there's going to be like, hey, you want us to animate? Great, you gotta pay us right and treat us right. Like, there's only so many people in the world that are gonna be able to do this and do it right. So inevitably, at some given point, yeah, they're gonna have to up the pay and up the training and up all sorts of stuff, because people are gonna just lose interest. Be like, oh, work as a slave? No, thank you. Keep your animation. It's bound to happen. And homie is right to have a pet peeve of, yeah, things aren't going to be the greatest for animators and studios in general in the future if training and things like that don't come into play. Moving forward, apparently Manga Plus is going a little under fire from people, because apparently Manga Plus's service is publishing Daisuke Miyata's Rugby Rumble manga using AI company as the letterer. Shueisha's Manga Plus service began releasing Daisuke Miyata's Rugby Rumble manga in English on Thursday, and the manga's release credits the company Orange Inc. along with Media Do Co. Ltd. for lettering and editing. The Japan External Trade Organization website describes Orange Inc. as follows. Orange has achieved a 90% cut in the processing cost of manga localization through AI. The system makes it possible to localize dozens of times more than before. We are creating an epoch-making localization globalization of Japanese manga. The company was founded April 2021 and announced in July it had raised $1.8 million. The company is also involved in the social media localization of the Neko Oji, the guy that got reincarnated as a cat manga. Mei Amaki, Mugen Creations LLC, is translating the Rugby Rumble manga. After the manga debuted in English and there was a backlash on social media about the quality of the lettering, Manga Plus released a new edition of the first chapter on Saturday with the typesetting changed, and Amaki is now credited as letterer and editor alongside Orange Inc. and Media Do. And we got some examples right here. See, it says Shime Village, a remote community deep in the mountains of Japan. And then the other one, okay, translated, lettered, and edited by Orange Co. and Miyamaki. Okay, so they didn't have Miyamaki in this one. So, yeah, the first one looks very plain Jane, like anybody could pretty much do it. The original version does, says original version up there. And then updated version looks way better. It looks way more legit. So, yeah, Orange Co., you need to get your shit together a little bit. Like, it could look a little better, you dig? But yeah, let me know what you think about this. How do you feel about AI doing the lettering? I feel like inevitably these are the tasks that AI is going to overtake. I think there'll be a lot more of an outcry like there's been when AI starts taking over the art department, the writing department. But when it comes to smaller tasks like lettering and stuff like that, I don't think that there's going to be that big of an outrage, and eventually it'll kind of subside and people will accept AI doing the lettering once it gets it right too, because that original one didn't look all that impressive, to be honest. Moving forward, I covered this over on my other channel, Tim Anime, but in case you don't know, there's been a big stir recently online, and it's been trending that Mappa Studios has been doing some shady business, you could say, with its animators, because apparently Mappa made the Jujutsu Kaisen anime staff sign a confidentiality contract so that they do not express complaints about the production. And basically it's like, hey, we don't want you complaining, we don't want you saying anything. And from what's been said, a lot of animators have spoke out. They pretty much been saying that they're going to expose Mappa Studios, what's really going on over there, that they're with their beds next to their desks, that basically they're essentially slaves to creating animation, and the fact that this was thrown on their laps to sign NDAs is pissing them off even more. I would say, like, I understand the uses of NDAs. Like, if it's like, yo, you know, a regular work environment or a regular type of business or whatnot, or even if it's not regular, if it's something very hush-hush, you know, absolutely, NDAs are required. But when it's basically sign this NDA because we're going to put you through a living hell and we don't want you to tell nobody that you're going through a living hell, that is disgusting. And these are the things where we as fans have to speak up. We as fans have to say something, because we'll hear this, it'll trend. Like, as of when I took the screenshot of this, it had almost 50,000 likes. And then we're going to go and watch the next episode of JJK like nothing happened. And that's supporting Mappa and supporting even further, like, it's okay to enslave your animators, and that's not cool. So we as fans need to speak up and do whatever we possibly can to showcase, even if it means at a time, yo dog, let's all as a collective decide we're not watching the latest Jujutsu Kaisen episode, to show Mappa like, yo, treat them better or we're not watching no more, period. Because we always got to remember, at the end of the day, these are human beings that are behind this. So that piece of animation that you love so much of Gojo doing something really cool, whatnot, that is a human being that was basically enslaved and forced to shut up, sign this paper so you could shut up. And that's not cool. So we got to get it together as fans so we can fight back and help these animators out, period, point blank. Somebody got to, you know, rally the troops up, so to speak, and get people together on a group. Yo, instead of watching Jujutsu Kaisen, we're going to rally up 50,000 people, 100,000 people, and we're going to go watch something else and go support something else. We're not going to support bullshit, you dig? Moving forward, we got a little update from the creator of Beastars, Pato Itagaki. They've illustrated the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to promote the Japanese release of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, and I gotta be honest, this drawing doesn't look the greatest. I don't know, they're supposed to be turtles, but they look more like slugs or something, and I do want to check out this film. Is it on Prime yet? I feel like it'll be on Amazon Prime. I want to check this film out, but I don't know. Pato Itagaki, I love some of your stuff. Beastars Season 1 was freaking great. I don't know about this drawing though, homie. Just saying. Moving forward, apparently editor of My Hero Academia and Kagurabachi, Imamura, at Weekly Shonen Jump is looking for assistance to help with a weekly series. However, there's no specifications on it being for a new or already existing work, but it's likely to be of one of the two mentioned, either My Hero Academia or Kagurabachi. I'm gonna throw in, wow, it could be either or now that I think of it. It could be for Horikoshi, because Horikoshi's health has been deteriorating over the last year that he's been doing this thing. I'm not surprised, considering it looked like he was going to end it a year ago, and it was like, no, I got a year more in me now out of, you know, the last second. So it could be to help out Horikoshi while he's trying to finish this thing up, or it could be, yo, Kagurabachi's a hit, dog, and we got to keep the quality up. We got to keep things going. Get more people in here. He deserves it. People are talking about it. It recently did so crazy crazy with the numbers, bro. The numbers is fantastically insane, unbelievable of Kagurabachi. In fact, it brings me to the next topic I want to talk about. Let's talk about it, because somebody over at Manga Plus had this to say regarding the big new implementation, which we'll talk about in a second, of something new that Manga Plus is doing. But they mentioned the success of Kagurabachi. We have implemented a billing function today on the overseas manga magazine app Manga Plus by Shueisha. Not only you can read the latest episodes of serialized works all over the world, but you can also pay to catch up on the latest episodes. Until now, it has been said that anime becomes popular overseas, but things are changing. When Kaiju number 8 began in 2020, it became a hot topic all over the world from the start of the new series. Every time the latest chapter is updated on Manga Plus, it is read by many overseas readers as well as Japanese readers. As a result, since the series was first published, it has sold in large numbers in many countries and languages, and books have been sold all over the world. Kagurabachi, which was recently published in Weekly Shonen Jump, has become a hot topic among overseas readers since the first episode of the new series, and has become extremely popular. It's not that if something becomes popular in Japan, it will spread overseas, or that if it's made into an anime, the original work will be recognized and become popular, but that when an interesting new series starts, readers all over the world will read it in their favorite language. We are on the verge of realizing an era in which the series will grow into a popular work all over the world. While granted, let's relax. I don't think just because everybody can read it all over the world is why Kagurabachi blew up. But again, it's another example of the accessibility of Kagurabachi. Like if we was 10 years ago, there is no Kagurabachi blowing up at this level because it wasn't legally accessible, it wasn't readily accessible for everybody. You had to wait till translators got it, and it was backdoor stuff. Like we had a whole new ball game because Manga Plus has launched a new subscription service. It says here, Shueisha's Manga Plus website and app announced on Wednesday that it has launched a new subscription service called Manga Plus Max with 2 plans. Shueisha streamed a trailer. Basically, with their 2 plans, it says Manga Plus Max includes a free basic plan, a standard plan, and a deluxe plan. The standard plan will cost $2 a month and will give readers unlimited access to over 80 current titles such as Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw. Okay, so it's similar to like what you get on the Jump Plus or the Shonen Jump app, like where you pay X amount to have unlimited access to everything. While with Manga Plus, I think after a certain point there's regulations, but I don't think you're able to read them offline even if you pay, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a little weird. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. Personally, I mean, I've been with Shonen Jump's app service that you pay, I think, what is it now, $2.99 a month, and you have unlimited access. So Manga Plus, I think it gives you access to other stuff outside of just Shonen Jump, where you can have, I believe, stuff like maybe Oshi no Ko or things in the seinen bracket or whatnot that aren't available on Shonen Jump's app. But yeah, it's just crazy that globally now things can really blow up thanks to the expansion of anime and new apps and all sorts of stuff. Going forward, apparently My Hero Academia will be holding its 9th character popularity poll starting next week in Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 46, and I can't imagine things will be that much different from the last time, except maybe Deku might be further down in popularity because, yeah, what's happening with Deku? We barely see him except every once in a blue moon having the final fight off screen, which, oh my god, that's so horrible. I just thought about it. Like, the final fight of My Hero Academia has literally been off screen for like a year. Like, what the hell happened here? But yeah, I'm willing to bet Bakugo will still be number 1, but we shall see. And we got another announcement. Apparently, Luffy is set to soar over the streets of New York City when he makes his debut at the 97th Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. So, not only will it be Goku, hopefully they still have the Goku one, I'm just saying. But apparently, they're going to be having a Luffy float. And again, I gotta say that's massively thanks to the Netflix One Piece live action. I think the Netflix One Piece live action was the last piece needed to really making One Piece truly conscious within the mainstream. Because even though there was a hardcore following for One Piece, especially in the last, I would say, half a decade of One Piece fandom or whatnot, it still never really cracked what Naruto and Bleach had done. And now I think the Netflix live action took it to that next level where people that don't even care about anime and manga are fans of it. So kudos to that. And yeah, if you're going to be at the Macy's parade, you're going to see Luffy up in there stretching his way through. Moving forward, One Punch Man World online multiplayer action game announced closed beta test in US and Canada. Crunchyroll Games announced on Tuesday the start of mobile pre-registration for One Punch Man World Perfect World's new online multiplayer action game based on One and Yusuke Murata's One Punch Man manga. Crunchyroll Games also announced the game will have a closed beta test in the US and Canada for Windows, PC, and Android starting October 18th. The company also released a new gameplay trailer featuring the combos and ultimate abilities of hero characters such as Genos, Golden Ball, and Atomic Samurai. And yeah, you could pre-register now again on, PC, Google Play, and the App Store. Pre-registration for the game is now open on the game's website for Windows PC and on the App Store and Google Play for mobile devices in the US, Canada, the UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Latin America, and Nordic country. Limited registration for the game's closed beta starts on Tuesday until October 10th, 11:59 p.m., which would be about 3 a.m. EST. Selected participants for the test will receive an email after registration, and yeah, you get to play. And I ain't gonna lie, One Punch Man has had some very big misses regarding video games, so maybe this mobile game will be cool, because I know the console game was the worst. Just like, oh my god, a hero nobody played or nobody knows, whatever it's called, like that game was terrible. Maybe this game, even if it's mobile, can be a pretty dope thing. Moving forward, Pluto anime posts final trailer, new visual. Netflix began streaming the English subtitled final trailer for the animated series of Naoki Urasawa's Pluto manga on Tuesday. The anime's official website also revealed a new visual for the anime, which you can see right here, big red background. That looks like, I don't know, like a Terraform Mars roach or something fighting against these kids and whatnot. And I'm dying to see this because, which I believe it's, 10/26 it says. I'm not sure if that'll be the same date for the English release, but I'm dying to see this. I'll be honest with you. Like, Pluto is from Naoki Urasawa, the creator of Monster. Monster is one of my favorite manga, one of the best anime manga I've ever freaking witnessed. And yeah, hopefully this is good, because Naoki Urasawa is a legendary mangaka, to say the least, and this deserves no less than a proper adaptation. The tagline on the visual reads, "Somebody stop this hatred." Shinsu Fuji, Toshihiko Seki, and other cast members will appear at the Japanese premiere screening of the first episode in Tokyo, October 20th. The anime will debut on Netflix on October 26th. The anime will have 8 60-minute episodes, which I can't freaking wait. I need this so much. Oh my god. Next up, you may have remembered this author. They got canceled out of Weekly Shonen Jump with their manga Pppppp. Well, the creator, Mappa 3, launched a new magical girl manga. That's very odd. The official website for very odd to go from like Pppp, like a manga about playing the piano, to magical girls. The official website for Shueisha Shonen Jump Plus announced that Mappa 3 is launching a new manga titled Tai Sekyo Maho Shoujo Tsubame, Anti-World Magical Girl Tsubame, on Saturday. There's a visual right here, and I ain't gonna lie, the art isn't, at least according to this visual, it doesn't really fit and land as well as like Pppp, but maybe I'm off on that. Mappa 3 launched the Pppp manga back in September 2020 and ended it in February. Shueisha published the 8th and final volume in May. Jump Plus teases the manga with the line, "What should be protected, the world or you?" Who knows? Maybe Mappa 3 might make the next Madoka Magica Sailor Moon here. You never know. Next up, Blue Exorcist manga takes 1 month break after author gets COVID-19. The official Twitter account of Kazue Kato's Blue Exorcist manga announced on Wednesday that the series will take a break for a month as the artist recovers from COVID. The manga will return in the December issue of Shueisha's Jump Square magazine, and I have seen more reports and people wearing the masks and all of that stuff again, and it's like, oh god, here we go again. Moving forward, Hell's Paradise Tokyo Ghoul, 18 more anime added to Crunchyroll's ad-supported catalog through October, which Tokyo Ghoul was desperately needed to be added to there. Crunchyroll announced on Thursday that it will add 20 anime titles to its ad-supported catalog from October 1st through October 31st in celebration of Halloween, including Blood Blockade Battlefront, Blue Exorcist, Corpse Princess, Shika Bane, Hime, Deadman Wonderland, Ghost Hunt, Hell's Paradise, Hellsing, Hellsing Ultimate, Higarashi When They Cry Go, How to Keep a Mummy, Is This a Zombie, Junji Ito's Collection, Kemono Jihen, Miraku-chan, The Case Study of Vanitas, and I think there's a few more, but that's what we have so far. And I ain't gonna lie, some of these titles are pretty awesome. Deadman Wonderland is great, Blue Exorcist is great. I've heard great things about Blood Blockade. Hellsing Ultimate is awesome. Hell's Paradise is great. Miracle-chan was dope. A lot of good stuff in this edition. Next up, Gintama 20th Anniversary will be giving new information about its upcoming projects next week in Shonen Jump issue number 46. And My Hero Academia will be, we already spoke about that, the 9th character popularity poll. But kudos for more Gintama info, although I think that's just that they're re-airing some stuff from the anime in theaters, so yeah. Next up, the Ichinose family's Deadly Sins has reached 450,000 copies in circulation with 4 volumes. And the problem I'm hearing about this, like, because I haven't read the manga, I'll be honest with you, since like chapter 15 or 16. And I think that was one of the reasons why I stopped reading it, was the fact that it started to feel a little bit like, where is this going? And most people are saying the same thing of like, where is this going? Like, so many plot twists, and plot twists are great, but if you're just constantly twisting the plot back and forth, it feels like the story lost its purpose and aim. Like, this was supposed to be a shorter series, and the immense popularity very quickly made the author do a double take. Like, yo, wait a minute, I can make mad money on this. What am I doing, dog? And now we're gonna stay up in this piece, you know? And I hope the author gets it together and this doesn't end up getting like botched, because it kind of already feels like, and from what people are saying, is like, yo, dog, get to the point. Stop doing plot twists and get to the point. So we'll see, but still, that's very impressive, averaging over 100,000 copies a volume. That's great. Shout outs to Tizen 5. Jujutsu Kaisen will be on break next week in Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 46, but will resume in issue number 47. So for those that are expecting some JJK in that issue, you will be disappointed. Don't expect it. Then we got an update on Witch Watch. Apparently, Witch Watch has reached 2 million copies with 13 volumes. Not the greatest showing. I enjoyed what I read of Witch Watch, but yeah, sales aren't the most immaculate, although selling 2 million copies of anything is always a good thing in my opinion. So shout outs to Witch Watch regardless. Moving forward, Rurouni Kenshin TV Anime's second core new key visual. I believe there's also a trailer out for the next season. Series starts broadcasting its second part on October 5th, 2023. And I think it's still doing the first season, if I'm not mistaken, because the second part, or the second season of the original, jumps into Makoto Shisho, and based off of this visual, I don't see any remnants of Makoto Shisho. It looks more like, is that the Oniwaban? I want to say it's still dealing with the Oniwaban. I could be wrong, but when we get to the Makoto Shisho arc, that's when it's like, yo, that's legendary arc. There's a reason why they put him in. Was he in Jump Force? I know he was in J-Star's Victory Versus, but yeah, Makoto Shisho, that's the real deal, homie, the real McCoy, you dig? And next up, in case you didn't know, Yoshihiro Togashi made a new post after 7 months of absence, leading people to believe that Hunter x Hunter is returning. He posted basically saying we start again, and he posted up a storyboard. So more than likely, I'm going to guess maybe sometime next year, Hunter x Hunter will return, probably early next year. If he's starting now, we're in October, I doubt he will be ready to serialize until probably first or second quarter of next year. But yeah, Hunter x Hunter is returning. It's just a matter of when now, because we already know it won't be in Shonen Jump, and we know Togashi is working again, so it's just a matter of when. Hey people, and let's slow it down with the weekly Shonen Jump author comments. We start off with Yoshifumi Tozuka, Undead Unluck. Thanks to all your support, my dream comes true on October 6th. Thank you. Here comes the anime. Big ups to you, dog. You deserve it. You still lasting. We got 2 on Ice, Elk Itsumo. My skating advisor is the famous former Japan pairs figure skater Narumi Takahashi. I'm so thankful to her. Akane Banashi Yuki Suenaga. I streamed Everything Everywhere All at Once. That was a crazy movie. Blue Box Koji Miura. I talked to my friend about which would we choose if it was all we could eat, curry or stew. I'd probably go with stew. Jujutsu Kaisen Gege Akutami. Yorozu's face hadn't changed, so she couldn't repair her flesh by resuming transformation. Sakamoto Days Yuto Suzuki. I love using ice to make a drink really cold. It goes down so easy. My Hero Academia Kohiro Koshi. I was thinking how manga is great because you don't need electricity to read it. My phone ran out of battery while I was out. Mama Yuyu Yoshihiko Hayashi. I want to freeze my joy and preserve it. Then when I get sad, I can microwave it for a minute at 500 watts. Wow. Mia Roboko Shuhei Miyazaki. Jumpo T is doing a Sakamoto Days collab. I'm really tempted to try and roll for Asaragi. Kagurabachi's Takeru Hokazono. The convenience store food sides I eat every third day were out of stock again. I can't survive. You got this, homie. You got this. You blowing up now. It's your turn, dog. The time is now. The time is now. I must go. It's time to get out. Yo, if you rock my music real quick, The Rise of Tim Roosevelt out now on all streaming platforms. You dig? The Rise of Tim Roosevelt. Look it up. Yeah. We got Kenta Shinohara, Witch Watch. My daughter is in 2nd grade. She started creating manga with her friends. She says she's on art duty and that the storyboards are really hard. Kill Blue Taratoshi Fujimaki. When I get the mixed sandwich set from the convenience store, I eat them in order of ham, lettuce, tuna, egg. Mission Yozakura family Hitsuji Gandaira. I ordered clam onigiri from Bokoi, Meshi, Hompo, and Muroran. They're really good. The Elusive Samurai Yusei Matsui. I went to the Yomiuri Giants game. Even though it was in the Tokyo Dome, the Chunichi fans were so amazingly passionate. Nue's Exorcist, Kota Kawai. I got some health tea from the convenience store. It wasn't too bitter, and I think it'll improve my health. Cypher Academy, Nisio Isen. Volume 4 comes out 10/4 in Japan. The Cypher poster that's included is beautiful. Go cop that if you like the series. Martial Master Asumi Kawada. Volume 1 goes on sale 10/4 in Japan. There's lots of bonus art. Please check it out. Yo, do they got the same editor that said, yo, promote your volume? Yeah, somebody said too, because even Ichinose Family Deadly Sins. Volume 4 will be releasing on 10/4 in Japan. Check it out if you have the chance. Yeah, they trying to get them sales up. And Icehead Gill by Ikuo Hachia. They created a voice comic. It's so amazing to hear the characters talking. I'm so grateful. Yeah, and he's dead last again. I'm willing to bet the next cancellation will be Icehead Gill. He probably survived because they already lost Black Clover and a few others, but not looking bueno there, mate. And we will close this bad boy off with the top 50 best-selling manga of the week, courtesy of your boy, Jose_K. And let's see here at 46, Sakamoto Days Volume 13, and 24 Days, 96. Good stuff. Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 21 at 1.7 million with 10.7 this week. Damn, that volume been out since 2022 and it's still selling. That's interesting. And the character on the cover makes me believe that the latest chapters is selling volumes too. People are going back and like, yo, I gotta buy that volume again, though. What the hell? So kudos on that. The JoJo Lands, JoJo Part 9 Volume 1, still on the charts with 11.2 this week, bringing its total to 243K. Okay, I like to see it. Yeah, get JoJo's on the charts. Let's do it. Let's see, we got places 40 through 31. Jeez Louise. Number 39, Isekai NTR. What the hell, fam? What the hell? We got Kengan Omega Volume 18, 6 days, 12K. I don't know. I felt like sharing that. Why not? Let's see what else. We got Fun Kara no Saikyo Otoko Volume 4. Why did I look like Asta a little bit from Black Clover, the character in the middle? Then we got at 31, Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 22 with 13.3 this week, bringing its total to 1.5 milli. Still going strong, baby. Let's go. Oh, I forgot the anime is doing Jujutsu Kaisen right now. So yeah, it's gonna bring in sales as well from the anime. But places 30 through 21. Let's see. We got at number 25, Kanojo Okarishimasu, Volume 33 in 11 days. 43.8K. You stretch it out, girl. You got this. We got March Comes In Like a Lion, Volume 17 in 27 days. 400K. Big stuff. At number 21, Solo Leveling, Volume 14. Mind you, that is not a Japanese comic, but it's still doing numbers because in 3 days, it did 17.7K. And when that anime comes, sales will probably skyrocket. We'll have back volumes galore. Places 20 through 11, we got Iruma-kun, Volume 34. In 18 days, it did 137K. Good stuff there. Jujutsu Kaisen latest volume 23, did 21.2 this week, bringing its total to 1.3 milli. Great work for Jujutsu Kaisen. We got Chojin X latest volume at number 11 in volume 7. In 6 days, it did 33.2. Not the greatest, and yet again another demonstration of why I say manga sales have fallen. Manga sales have definitely dropped because let's jump to the top 10. Top 10. Let's look at top 10. Yomi no Sugai in 13 days at number 9 on the charts with only 36.8K. I mean, granted, you know, the total 148K, it's doing very well, but to be in the top 10 and only doing 36K, something is wrong. Manga sales have definitely went way back, well before what we was doing during the like COVID pandemic or whatnot. Like these are, I'm not sure if this is like 2018, 2017, but sales have definitely dipped a lot. And people say manga may be blowing up internationally or, you know, globally, shall I say. But in terms of like home in Japan, sales aren't doing the greatest. Now, I don't know if this accounts for digital sales, and maybe digital sales would tell a different tale, but they really should include digital sales because, you know, Look, Blue Lock episode Nagi volume 3 at number 8 in 11 days. It did 126K with 37.5 this week. It's like, what's going on here? We got the Slime series volume 24, 17 days. It did 345K with 47 this week. Mystery to Luna Kare volume 13 in 17 days did 346. Big numbers with 51.6 this week. We got Space Brothers in 3 days, volume 43, 74.7. Good stuff there. So No Free Error in volume 11 in 10 days, 213K with 75.6. Like, if this was 2 years ago, you're not cracking top 10 without 100,000 plus. That's why I say sales are low, because these aren't bad sales by any means, but in comparison to the last 2 years, sales are lowered. Let me clarify on that one. And then at number 1, Blue Lock volume 26, 11 days, 83.8 this week with a total of 244K. That is why Blue Lock is one of the highest selling manga of the year. The highest selling manga, unless something changes. Big ups to Blue Lock. But yeah, people, that's all we have for this episode. I'm Tim. Thanks for watching. And as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in. And you guys just watched another episode of
Forever News.
Have an awesome day. Please hit that subscribe button and that bell. I'd greatly appreciate it. And check out my new album, The Rise of Tim Roosevelt, out now. Link in the description below. Thank you so much. And yeah, till next time, have an awesome day.
Thought it would have been, wish it would have been. Acting like I'm fine is getting harder to pretend. I said, thought you would have been, wish you would have been. Maybe I was wrong, it was me all along.